What makes good art? That question is quite literally impossible to answer due to art being a subjective topic. Despite this, there seems to be a general consensus of one example that very rarely works out in the world of adaptations, and that is realism, specifically in video game to movie adaptations. Today, we'll be looking at examples like Sonic the Hedgehog and Minecraft and exploring how striving for realism can sometimes miss the mark. Start things off with a look at Sonic the Hedgehog. When the first teaser for the Sonic film dropped, fans were shocked by Sonic's realistic redesign. The decision to give Sonic more human-like features, including detailed fur and an oddly proportioned body, was met with widespread criticism that was felt all throughout the internet. The backlash was so intense that the filmmakers decided to go back to the drawing board and redesign Sonic. This is something we had never really seen before, as Hollywood studios are often not working with the fans. The final version, which more closely resembles his iconic animated look, was met with much better reception. But what does this tell us about the role of realism in animated adaptations? Realism in animation is a tricky business. On one hand, it can add a sense of gravity and believability to a film, while on the other hand, it can strip away the unique charm and personality that made the original animated characters so beloved in the first place. On top of this, it is also extremely expensive and very laboring for the many CGI workers in the studio. Let's also talk about Minecraft. The game itself is celebrated for its blocky, simplistic graphics, which have become iconic in their own right. Yet with this new film adaptation, fans have gone wild just as they did for the new Sonic movie, with many hoping the trailer was a joke. There was an attempt to translate Minecraft's aesthetic onto the big screen, but failed ultimately due to realism. When you try to add realism to Minecraft's world, you end up with a visual that feels dissonant from the game's original charm. The blocky, pixelated style isn't just a visual choice, it's integral to the game's identity and its appeal. Realism can dilute this essence, turning a beloved game into something that feels foreign and less engaging. But the issue with realism in animated adaptations isn't just about aesthetic, it's also about the impact on storytelling and character. Characters designed to be exaggerated and stylized often carry more personality and appeal. They're expressive and relatable in ways that hyper-realistic designs can struggle to match. The live-action Lion King serves as a prime example of where realism might not always be the best choice. While visually stunning, the film's hyper-realistic approach often overshadowed the expressive charm of the original animated characters. The lifelike lions, though impressive, lacked the emotional depth and personality that their animated counterparts so effectively conveyed. This shift towards realism led to a less emotionally engaging experience, demonstrating that hyper-realistic visuals can sometimes detract from the narrative's emotional core. Stylized designs allow for a wider range of expressions and actions that fit the animated world's rules. Realistic designs, on the other hand, can sometimes limit the expressiveness and charm of the characters. They might look impressive and cost a lot of money, but do they really capture the spirit of the original in a way that fans would want? On the flip side of this, successful adaptations often manage to strike the right balance by retaining the original spirit through stylized designs. Movies like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse showcase how a unique, visually striking style can honor the original material while bringing something fresh to the table. These adaptations highlight that embracing the distinctiveness of the source material, rather than forcing it into a realistic mold, can lead to a more successful and engaging result. Another good example would be the movie Ready Player One. This film almost perfectly balances realistic and cartoonish styles, letting each character be what they need to be and bring their own personality into the film's setting. It's clear that creating a successful adaptation involves more than just translating visuals from one medium to another. It requires a thoughtful approach to preserving the essence of the original while exploring new creative directions. Realism can offer a fresh perspective, but it must be balanced with an understanding of what made the original material special in the first place. A movie that many people found to work well in a realistic setting was the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. While yes, the games themselves are often animated with things such as 2D sprites, the story felt natural in a realistic setting. If one knows the backstory of the franchise, then they would feel comfortable with the movie's stylistic choice, as the story is rooted more in dark and gritty realistic context than something of the likes of Sonic. Another noteworthy case is Pokémon Detective Pikachu. This film represents a unique experiment in blending realistic and animated elements. While the film incorporated realistic textures and environments, it managed to retain the distinctive charm of Pokémon's character designs. The film's success lies in its careful balance. Pokémon characters were rendered with a realistic touch, but they remained true to their iconic looks, allowing them to integrate seamlessly into a live-action world without losing their original appeal. The key here was not just in how the characters looked, but in how they interacted with their environment. The film's creators understood that Pokémon's playful, exaggerated personalities needed to be preserved, even in a more realistic setting. By maintaining the characters' core attributes and blending them with realistic surroundings, the film achieved a balance that pleased both fans and newcomers alike. The reception of adaptations often reflects how well they balance the original's essence with new creative elements. Fans of animated characters have strong attachments to the unique aspects of the originals, and when these elements are compromised, it can lead to mixed or negative reactions. Successful adaptations often find ways to honor the original material while introducing fresh perspectives that enhance rather than replace its core attributes. Fans themselves play a crucial role in shaping the discourse around adaptations. Their creative reinterpretations and fan art often celebrate the aspects of characters that resonate most deeply with them. These fan-driven projects frequently highlight the importance of maintaining the original character's spirit, offering valuable insights into what makes the original work so special. Ultimately, the goal of adapting animated properties into film should be to respect and preserve the essence of what made them popular in the first place. While realism can be visually striking, it's not always the best fit for every story or character. Sometimes, the charm of animation lies in its ability to embrace exaggeration and stylization. We as the fans need to remind the Hollywood studios that next time they see a beloved animated character being reimagined with a realistic twist, to remember that there's more to consider than just how detailed their fur or their skin is. It's about capturing the heart and soul of the original creation.